the wheel off, use a 21mm socket, take the lug nuts off, and remove the wheel. Use some side cutters and take this cotter pin off. Just bend it back in position and try to pull it out. I'm just gonna trim them off. All right, so try to get those cotter pins out the best you can. And take a 19mm wrench and loosen up the nut. So take that nut off. If you can't get it off completely, that's okay. Once we separate this, we'll be able to get the nut off, but get it as close as possible right there. Now we want to separate it from the knuckle. Now I'm going to use a pickle fork. There is other tools you could use to try to separate these, but this one works well. Just make sure it's not hitting on anything. That looks good. And give it a good hit. There we go. That's separated. Now pull the nut off. There you go. Now we'll take the two nuts off and that bolt. Use a 17mm socket. Now we can separate this right there. And just slide the ball joint out. All right, now take the new ball joint and it's gonna be a little bit tricky. You could use a pry bar if you want to. Slide this in position and pull the control arm down. And just line the studs up. Watch your fingers. Watch your digits. There we go. Get the nuts started. Use a 19mm socket on the nuts. And an 18mm socket on the bolt. And we'll torque these all to 94 foot-pounds. Now put the nut on. If you have to, you can pry the ball joint down a little bit. And take a 21mm wrench and tighten this down. If you can get a torque wrench on there, if you have the ability to do that, then you want to torque this to 91 foot-pounds. And then when you tighten this down, if the hole for the cotter pin isn't lined up, you can tighten it up a little bit more, get that to line up, and take the cotter pin, slide it through the hole. There we go. Slide the cotter pin through there, and just bend the ends. Just be careful of the CV boot. You don't want to rip the CV boot. You can trim the excess and then just bend it over. And just trim the excess right here. Put the wheel up. And put the lug nuts on. Now torque the lug nuts to 77 foot-pounds in a cross pattern to tighten the wheel down evenly. Just go around again, double check. After you've done this job, make sure you bring the vehicle to a local shop to have it aligned. You don't want to have premature tire wear.